jump on here and show you some seeds that I got today and talk about whether or not cheap seeds are worth buying. Now, when I say cheap seeds, I'm talking about the seeds that you go and you get at the grocery store or you see at the dollar store. And like, I'll give you an example. These seeds were 20 cents a pack. That's cheap. You can find 20 cents in your cup holder in the car. And actually, you can buy seeds with an EBT card. Some people say that gardening can be expensive. It can get expensive, yes, but there are ways around it. These are going to grow just as good as these. They're going to grow just as good as these. And I don't have my other seeds in here. But say like if you get seeds from Baker Creek or anywhere like that online, sometimes they have better germination rates. But honestly, as far as my personal experience goes, seeds from the grocery store or from a big box store are going to grow just as well as ones that you get online. You're just not supporting like a more family owned type business. I really enjoy ordering seeds offline because they have a way bigger variety. However, I have found out and realized in recent years, since gardening has become more popular, ever since 2020, that we're getting more variety in these stores. Like the rainbow carrots or this pretty sunflower. I don't think I could have found this 4 years ago. Asparagus seeds. Alright, I am going to show you guys what I got. But this one specifically, because I had never seen this for sale at the big box stores or at the grocery store. And now I live in a really rural place, so varieties are kind of limited as far as anything goes. But yard long beans, they're called asparagus beans. These are a pole bean. They grow vertically, so on a trellis, and they get really, really, really long. These are really good for fresh eating. A lot of people fry them up like asparagus. They say they kind of taste like asparagus. I don't know. You see, then here's actual asparagus, two completely different things. Let's get into the seeds that I bought. So I got asparagus seeds. Now these are going to take a really, really long time. These are going to, I think it takes 3 years after they sprout before you can actually start harvesting it. You can buy roots like this. These are probably already 2 years old, maybe just a year. I'll have to look at the packaging and see. But these are going to be able to be harvested before these. These are going to take another year or two. Enough about asparagus. I did go out into the garden today and see that my asparagus was still there and barely peeking up through the soil. And that's why I got excited and went to the store and bought more asparagus plants and some other things too. But I wanted to try these from seed, just to see, because it's fun. And I can't stop buying seeds. It's addictive. I got these 20-cent carrots because I like Denver carrots, and they were 20 cents. I got 2 packs of those. I got a red cord Chantenay. I know I probably said that wrong. I try really hard not to say the difficult ones. Scarlet Nantes, classic. The rainbow mix carrots. We'll try carrots this year. Obviously, I got a bunch of them. And I bought a bunch of new carrot seeds. I have carrot seeds, but they don't last as long as in storage as regular seeds do, say like sunflower, tomato seeds, something like that. I got this really pretty sunflower. Never seen one like that, never grown one like that. The asparagus beans, which we talked about. I have had really good luck in the past with growing squash and zucchinis, but the last couple years I've tried to grow the Black Beauty and they've just not done well. I don't know if it has been the weather or just the pest pressure or what, but I'm going to try a different variety of zucchini this year. The Cocazella, I probably said that wrong too, but it's like a striped zucchini. And I'm going to try eggplant. I know that I haven't been able to grow eggplant in the past because of pests, and you can also use eggplant like a trap crop, kind of like nasturtiums, because the pests do really like to eat eggplants, but I don't want to use it as a trap crop. I really want to try to grow it this year. I have some really cool color. I remember, I think they're orange eggplants, and they're kind of small seeds, but it's about time for me to start these indoors along with the peppers. I got a white marigold, which I had never seen before. Very interesting. And then a candy cane zinnia, which I had to go back and get another pack because when I got to the register, I noticed that the bottom of one of the packs had come open and seeds had fallen out, and I wanted to get my money's worth, so I went back and got another pack. Just be wary when you are buying seeds in the store. You can actually inspect the packages to make sure that they have seals. But these are really pretty. I love zinnias. Zinnias are really easy to grow. They make a great cut flower. The more you cut them, the more they bloom. So I also got some asparagus roots, or asparagus, I think we call them crowns. And I got 3 bags of these, and there are 4 in each one. And then I got 3 bags of strawberries, and there are 10 roots in each one. I have grown these asparagus from big box stores. I got these from Walmart before, and they have done great. I will warn you, and I should have looked at this one before I got it. I might end up having to plant this one inside before I put it outside because we still got some cold weather. I will warn you about these. I would get them as early in the season as you can, like when they first set them out, so that they're fresh. Because once they sit on the shelf and they start to dry out, like I bought a bunch of these one year and planted them, and none of them come up because they had started to sprout, they had dried out, and they didn't do. And I will say that today when I was in there, they had all of the bulbs and the roots and everything on a display case in the back of the garden center underneath the propane heater, right underneath of it. And what that's doing is number 1, it's drying them out. Number 2 is it's getting them warm, and they're starting to sprout in the package, and they're going to sprout, not be able to find sunlight, not be able to get water, all that stuff, and then they're going to die in the package. So I let somebody know that they should probably move those out from underneath the heater, or else all their bulbs are going to, I wouldn't say all of them, but the ones on top, they're going to suffer. And which is why these strawberries have started. I'll see if you can see them. These strawberries have started to grow in the package, which wouldn't be terrible if it was warm enough outside for me to. I mean, strawberries, they're cold hardy, but we've been getting some 20-degree nights, so I might go ahead and plant these in like a pot in the house and let them get stable and keep them in here until I feel comfortable with having them outside. However, that is something that you need to be wary of, because whenever certain plants go on sale at the end of spring, some of them are perfectly fine, and it's a really great way for you to get cheap plants. But others, and I'm going to show you, I got these the other day. This is a blueberry plant, and it has started to kind of leaf out. Now, because it started to leaf out, and because I'm still a bit worried about the frost and whatnot, I'm gonna go ahead, and I've got these big pots that some apple trees come in. I'm gonna fill those up and put 2 of those per pot and let them kind of grow some more roots and get some food and water and all that stuff before my last frost date, and then I'm going to plant those out afterwards. I'm just going to kind of give them a head start in the house. Now, if they were completely dormant, I would go ahead and plant them outside. Like that's what you're supposed to do with bushes and trees. When they're dormant, that's when you plant them. These, however, where they were in that warm garden center, they've already started to sprout. I don't want to chance that late frost to come in and kill all those leaves and potentially kill the plant and put it way behind schedule. If it doesn't kill the plant, it's going to put it way behind schedule of growing the leaves again. And then I got this, which is a thornless blackberry. I'm really excited about this. I have some thornless raspberries that I ordered off of Etsy, and they have done amazing the last couple of years. I will say that most of everything that I have bought off of Etsy as far as plants and seeds go have been so much better quality than getting them at, say, a big box store. they're normally grown in somebody's garden, and they take care of it, and they know what they're doing. And no, I'm not saying that, you know, these are just mass produced, and they go through a lot of, you know, traveling before they get to you, and sometimes you just don't get the best quality. Check the reviews whenever you get anything off of Etsy, and just make sure that you are getting a quality product, and see how the plants have grown for other people. And that's worked out for me pretty well, and they do have sales on Etsy pretty regularly. I feel so behind with planting seeds and gardening, and I know that's just in my head. I think every gardener feels that way in the springtime. They just feel like they're so behind, even though they're not. Like, I feel like I should have planted peppers and broccoli and cabbage and all that 2 months ago, but it's only the end of February, and I have plenty of time, but it keeps ticking and ticking away, and I'm like, oh, I'll get to it tomorrow, and then, you know, time gets away from me. So I'm hoping that this weekend I'll be able to get some more plants started, and I wanted to give you an update on the seeds that I planted the other night. It has been, I'd say, a week and a half since I started them. They are not on a seed mat. They are next to a really cold, drafty window, and we have had some really cold nights in the 20s, so I wasn't expecting a fast germination rate. So a few things have germinated, and a few things have not. And I would say that like the onions, I've had a couple of those sprout up, but they are a slower germination too, like up to 2 weeks, especially when it's cold. I'm not expecting them to come up anytime soon, but I will show you what has come up. So these are kale, and most of the kale has started to germinate. The one that germinated first was the Black Magic kale, and then 1,000 head kale, I think is what it's called. But most of the kale has germinated, and then it looks like right here some of the Swiss chard has started to germinate. I don't really see anything else that has come up in this one, but aren't those so pretty? Oh, it's so exciting. And then over here, I have one tiny little onion that has decided to germinate, and I haven't seen anything else come up, so I'm assuming it's just taking them a while because it is so cold and it is such a slow germinating vegetable. I guess while I got you guys here, I'm going to go ahead and pot up these blueberry bushes. I've got all the stuff to do it. I've got the pots back home unnested. Got these big, I think these are 5-gallon pots. And I've just got some cheap potting mix from the big box store. I'm not that worried about starting my stuff in organic soil, organic seed starting mix, any of that stuff. I don't plan on spraying anything on my garden or using any chemical fertilizers or anything like that, but as far as seed starting goes, or as far as buying organic seeds, I'm not that concerned with it. By the time food comes along, I think we're gonna be okay, especially with these blueberry bushes. I think it's gonna be just fine because they're gonna be transplanted outside. Anyway, this is just what I can afford, and if all you can afford is the non-organic soil potting mix, don't let that stop you from growing your own food or plants. Just do it. And one day you'll get to a point where you're able to afford the organic stuff if that's what you want, or you'll be able to make your own. Especially if you've got animals on your homestead. That's a really big help as far as making compost and feeding your garden. But no matter the ways that you are gardening, there's not a wrong way at all. So this is what you can afford, and this is what I can afford. This is what we're doing. I'm gonna fill these pots, I don't know, maybe 1/3 of the way. I don't want to fill it all the way because I've got to put the blueberry. I know you guys can't really see. Maybe down here you can see better. I just got a little bit of potting mix in there. I'm going to unpackage these blueberries and see what we got. I have 4 of them. I'm just going to put 2 per pot. until I can get them transplanted out come springtime. I tried to get the plants that looked the healthiest, the ones that had the thicker stems, and this has quite a few on it. One time we went to a store that was having a plant clearance closeout sale, and I didn't know anything about plants, and I bought a bunch of them for, I don't know, $2 a piece. Well, they ended up all being dead. I didn't know what to look for as far as being alive. I just thought they were dormant, but it was the middle of July and none of them had leaves on them, and what had happened was they had sprouted and been left in this little bag, not gotten any water, not gotten any sunshine, and they just died. So I learned my lesson on that one. Buy it early and make sure that they're alive. Learn a little bit about what you're buying. Maybe do a little research. Boogie, you cannot have that. So, normally the cats are not allowed in this room, but the door is open, so he's decided, he's decided to come in here and be annoying. Get out of here. This cat is the definition of a brat. He does everything in his power that he can to get attention, and he knows when he's doing stuff he's not supposed to. And he does it on purpose so that I will pay attention to him. So I'm just kind of breaking up the roots just a little bit. Not too much. I don't want to disturb it too much. And there's not as many roots as you would think. They put quite a bit of, this looks like sawdust. They put them in sawdust. I'm going to set that little guy right there. I'm going to grab me another one. I don't have anything planted on the bank in front of my house. In fact, for most of the years that I've lived here, I've not had a way to weed eat or mow that bank. So the town or county comes along and cuts it for me. But I've been trying to get it mulched with straw and hay, mowed down while its grass isn't growing. I'm going to put my blueberries down there to kind of act like a ground cover. So see, their roots are not very big. So planting them in this pot, I think, is a good idea before sticking them outside, because this is going to give them a head start, not have to deal with all the harsh weather outside for a little while until they grow just a little bit more. And once it's warm and they're a little bit stronger, healthier, then I'll transplant them outside. So now that I have thoroughly made a mess, and again, the only reason that I up-potted these instead of planting them directly outside is because they have broken dormancy being in that warm garden center. Since they've broken dormancy, I don't want the frost to kill them. If they were still looking like a twig, hadn't had any green growth on them, I would probably go ahead and plant them outside and go ahead and just get them in line with the seasons. But these guys, I can't do it to them. I can't let the frost kill them. So that's why. These are potted up and I'm going to water them. This just gives me extra peace of mind that they're not gonna die in the frost, and they get a little extra time to grow in here, and they're not gonna die in the package. It's okay to buy your plants and your seeds from these box stores. It's okay if you can't afford the organic plant mix. There's no shame in this. Like, there should be no shame and no guilt in gardening. Get what you can, grow what you can, and love it. Anyway, I almost forgot to label them and put the same ones in the same pot, but these are blue crops. I've heard of these before. Those are called Climax. Funny name for blueberry. But I'd never heard of that one before, but I just got 2 of each. The blue crop, the plants look like they're bigger. So I'll let you know which ones I like the best. And at one of the local farm stores, I saw that they had actual, I don't know if they were 3-gallon buckets or 5-gallon blueberry plants, and they were really big. I think they were like $16, or these were like $6 or $7. So I might go and get some bigger ones to mix in and see. It just really felt like we've had an early spring. I feel like it's been kind of a false spring. We've had a couple really warm days, and I've been able to get outside and work and build stuff. I got me a new saw, and I was able to create some structures, and they might not be perfect, but I'm so proud of them. Made a goat shed, and then something else that I'm not going to spoil it. We are getting a new animal, so look out for that video. I really am so excited to show you what I've built and to show you what we're getting. I can't stand it. So look out for those videos. Let me know, what other seeds are you buying? I definitely didn't need these seeds. Now the carrots and stuff, and then there were some things that I really wanted to try that I hadn't. I have a whole tote full of seeds. It's kind of, it's an addiction. It's a hobby. What can I say? When they're like $1 a pack, I can't help myself. And whenever these big box stores that you go into for shopping once a week or however long, and you see that they have special little seeds that you've not seen them carry before, you've only seen them online, I got so excited, and I hope that maybe this video inspired you to go out and check and see what they're selling at your local store. Get some cheap seeds. Get some seeds from the dollar store. Don't be discouraged. They're going to grow just as well as the more expensive one. If that's all you can afford, if that's all you have access to, grow something. Just try it out. I promise you that you'll learn something at least. If you don't get any food, you're going to learn something. So get out there and grow something, and let me know what it is, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.